Alexander Usyk did a fantastic performance tonight over Daniel Dubois, a good young game lad who come for a good tear up. So congratulations to both.
In today's era of heavyweight boxing, knockout power usually gets all the attention. But Alexander Usyk is changing that narrative one fight at a time. His recent performance against Daniel Dubois wasn't just a rematch. It was a showcase of technical brilliance, ring IQ, and mental warfare. From the first round to the final knockout in round 11, Usyk didn't just defeat Dubois, he dismantled him. It was a night that reminded everyone that timing, precision, and intelligence can trump brute force. But how exactly did he do it? And what does this mean for the future of the heavyweight division? Wembley Stadium was electric. Over 70,000 fans packed the seats, most of them expecting a war. Dubois had returned to the ring hungry for redemption. After the controversy surrounding their first fight, particularly the infamous body shot that was ruled low, Dubois had something to prove. Bigger, younger, and with knockout power in both hands, he entered the ring, convinced this would be his moment. But across from him stood a man who has made a career out of proving doubters wrong. Usyk, and laser-focused, looked like a man preparing for surgery, not war. As the bell rang for round 1, Usyk began doing what he does best, establishing control with subtle movement. He didn't throw big punches, he didn't brawl. Instead, he studied, he circled Dubois, using small steps and angles to control distance. He fired sharp jabs not just to land, but to gather data. Dubois tried to impose his size, stepping forward behind heavy hands, but Usyk's footwork made him look slow. The opening rounds were quiet to the untrained eye, but they were crucial. Usyk was downloading information, seeing how Dubois reacted to pressure, to feints, to jabs, and he was setting traps. By round 3, Usyk started to turn up the pace. His jab became a weapon. His left hand started to find the mark. Dubois looked solid, throwing punches with confidence, but he couldn't find Usyk. Every time he committed, Usyk slipped away. Every time he reset, Usyk stepped in with a quick 1-2. The difference in speed and rhythm was becoming obvious. Fans ringside could see it. Commentators could feel it. Usyk was starting to take over. Then came round Fiva, round that saw Dubois begin to tire. The pace, the angles, the constant pressure of decision-making, it was all adding up. His punches slowed, his feet felt heavier. And Usyk, he was just getting started. By round 6, Usyk began slipping inside with short combinations, hook to the body, uppercut, step out. Dubois covered up, swinging wildly in return. But Usyk never stayed in one place long enough to be hit. It was classic Matador versus Bull. The bull was wearing down. Then came round 8, and with it, the first major moment of the fight. Usyk slipped a jab, stepped forward, and landed a clean straight left to the chin. Dubois staggered, and before he could reset, Usyk followed with 2 more punches. Dubois dropped. The stadium erupted. He beat the count, but everyone watching knew this fight was turning into a masterclass. From that moment on, Dubois looked like a man surviving, not fighting. He backed up more, threw less, and breathed heavier. Usyk, smelling blood, remained composed. He didn't rush. He picked his shots, stayed sharp, and waited. In round 11, the moment arrived. Dubois tried to rally, throwing a big right hand but missed badly. Usyk leaned in and snapped a brutal left hook right on the chin. Dubois crashed to the canvas, flat on his back. The referee didn't even need to count. It was over. Usyk walked to his corner, arms raised, face calm like a man who'd just clocked out after another day at the office. The knockout wasn't loud or wild, it was cold and clinical. And that's what made it terrifying. Reactions came flooding in. Twitter exploded with highlights. Boxing legends praised the performance. Carl Froch called it textbook brilliance. Roy Jones Jr. said it reminded him of vintage Holyfield. Even Tyson Fury, who sat ringside with a neutral expression most of the night, looked slightly rattled. He later posted a vague message, "We'll see soon." But fans could sense that Usyk's performance shook the division. He's not just winning, he's dominating, and he's doing it in a way that exposes weaknesses in every opponent. Daniel Dubois, to his credit, showed heart. He came in stronger, more composed, and tried to pressure Usyk, but he couldn't match the pace or adapt to the constant angles. After the fight, he gave Usyk full credit, saying, "He's just too smart in there." It's rare to hear that kind of honesty from a fighter, but, in this case, it was clear. Dubois didn't lose because of poor conditioning or bad luck. He lost because he was outthought and outclassed by a generational talent. So, what is it that makes Usyk special? It's not just his skills, it's his mentality. He doesn't let emotions cloud his judgment. He doesn't chase knockouts. He doesn't fight recklessly. Instead, he treats boxing like a science. Every movement serves a purpose. Every round builds toward the end game. He reads his opponents like open books and writes his own ending. And physically, while not the biggest heavyweight, he uses his size more effectively than anyone. He controls range, he dictates pace. He never lets the opponent set the terms of engagement. The big question now is, what's next? All eyes turn to Tyson Fury, a Fury versus Usyk. clash for undisputed heavyweight supremacy would be one of the biggest fights in boxing history. Style-wise, it's fascinating. Fury is unorthodox, massive, and surprisingly quick. Usyk is disciplined, slick, and mentally unshakable. Both are undefeated. Both have dominated their eras. It's the kind of fight that defines legacies, and fans have waited long enough. But even if that fight doesn't happen next, Usyk has options. A trilogy with Anthony Joshua could sell out any stadium. A battle with Filip Hrgovic could silence the critics who say he avoids punchers. And for Usyk, now 37, each fight could be his last. He said publicly that he misses his family, especially his children. "My motivation is strong," he once said, "but I am also tired. I want to rest." That makes every Usyk appearance in the ring a moment to cherish. We're watching the final chapters of a master craftsman. As fans, we're lucky to witness it. In an age of hype and trash talk, Usyk represents something rare. He lets his fists speak, he respects the sport, and he reminds us that boxing, at its highest level, is an art form. His win over Dubois wasn't just about who's tougher. It was about who's smarter, more prepared, and more disciplined. In the end, Usyk walked out of Wembley, not just as a winner, but as a legend in the making. And with every passing fight, he moves one step closer to all-time greatness. Whether he retires tomorrow or goes on to unify the belts, Oleksandr Usyk has already done enough to earn his place among the greats. The only question that remains is, who dares to stop him?